Good evening. This is Amay Sathe. I'm the editor and publisher of sarkaritel.com. And I have been running this website for last 20 years. And today we have a very special panel headed by CSRL, a Delhi-based NGO. And we would also have some very eminent speakers heading various PSUs. So today we'll be talking about a very interesting project which was conceived by CSRL, which is also known as Center for Social Responsibility and Leadership, Super 30. So once upon, I'll say good evening to everybody, and I'm just going to start the interview. Uh, Quality education is a right of every citizen of the country, but it has been reserved for few. A Delhi-based NGO, CSRL, with the help of various PSU giants, have come together to enable the less privileged to fulfill their dreams by giving them access to good education through this project. Center for Social Responsibility and Leadership, Super 30. Today, we will be joined by Mr. S.K. Sahi, who is the founder director of Delhi-based NGO. Then we have some very eminent leaders from the PSUs. So we will have Mr. Prabhat Singh, who is CEO and MD of Petronet LNG. Then we'll also have Mr. N.K. Bharali, who is ex-director HR at Oil India. And he's also advisor, he advises CSRL on academic matters. Then we also have Shri Sushil Chandra Mishra ji, who is CMD of Oil India. Then we have Mr. R.K. Mohapatra, he is Director HR at Indian Oil. Then we have Mrs. Alka Mittal, she is Director HR at ONGC. And we will also have Mr. Bishwajit Ray, who is Director HR at Oil India. He is also joining with Oil India CMD. So let's start the interview. My first question will go to Mr. S.K. Shahi. Sir, what was the idea of starting this CSRL Super 30? And how you have helped students and how many so far?
Okay, good evening, everybody. My daughter Meenakshi has joined with me, who has coordinated with the Harvard Business School for 2 years in completing their research project, and she is the main person who led that team on behalf of CSR in coordination with Harvard team. And that is how that case study has been published. Let me tell you the background of the Super 30 program. I still remember in 2006 when Mr. M.B. Lal was chairman Hindustan Petroleum, Arun Balakirtan was then director HR, who later on became chairman HPCL, sent me a one-page article which was written by Mr. Rangarajan, C.R. Rangarajan, who was then governor of Reserve Bank of India. He wrote a lovely article. The article was titled as Outlay, Output and Outcome. He said that in India there is no dearth of outlay. The government provides money, the CSR also provides money. There is output also. What output he meant was school building, bench, chair, table, hospital building, etc. But he said that in terms of outcome, there is nothing visible. So that was the first seeding of the term outcome in my mind from that article. And later on, Mr. Lal wrote me a note that what can I do to help HPCL in introducing CSR program with outcome orientation. That was my first orientation to outcome, and I realized that how important is the outcome. My second orientation with the term outcome was in 2017, when the present government led by Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi wanted a quick feedback on outcome of his pet projects like Jan Dhan, Digital India, Swasth Bharat, etc. This job was being coordinated by Mr. Sanjay Kothari, currently CVC, and then he was chairman PSCB. And Mr. Prabhat Singh is sitting here. He sponsored that project, he funded it, he provided logistic and all kind of support in that study. The condition in that study was that it was to be conducted by the toppers of IITs, of all 5 IITs. I mean, the best brains were to assess that. And that meeting was held in GTI in Gales Training Center, and I was the coordinator of that program, coordinating between PLL and Mr. Kothari and helping to reach to some conclusion for which the presentation was given to be got. The main problem that came during that exercise was absence of a outcome, clearly laid outcome in all its policies, and therefore the students who are doing that exercise were in serious trouble to how to present that case because there is no clearly defined outcome. This program, this CSRL Super 30 program, is very clear in one thing, that it has a very visible, tangible, measurable outcome and long-term outcome. You don't have to go to somebody to assess its outcome. Okay, that is number one. Number two, the impacts 3 generations, the present generation, the past generation, the next generation. Then the return on investment is also financially very clear. You spend 3 lakhs rupees on a student, and the student after 4 years they start earning 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, which goes on in crore for next whole of life, 35, 40, 45 years. But what once Mr. Tripathi told me, that the impact cannot be measured only in terms of money. Look at the emotional aspect of this program, that how would a poor farmer and laborer feel when he comes to know that his son has gone in IT, the respect that goes up in the society, the marriage proposal that comes to him from rich families. Those are the things that are more important even than the money. So when 2009 and 10, when my very dear and old family friend Abhinand was running Super 30, I had a discussion with him and invited him for a meeting in Delhi when he spoke about Super 30. So Mr. Tripathi was present, and immediately he told me that so far we have been doing consulting with GAIL and other companies on CSR. Now we do a program on Super 30. So that is how in 2009 the program was launched in GAIL. GAIL, before we could, even the students could appear at the exam, they were so convinced about the program that within 3 months they made it from 30 to 60, and next year, even without the test, they made it from 60 to 100. In between, I was invited by While India, then Mr. Bora was chairman, Mr. Bharali was director to start the project in While India, and there too it expanded from 1 center to 6 centers currently, and 1 for medical also is running there. That is how it went on expanding every year. IGL, MGL, PLL, Railway, etc. A lot of companies came, and now a lot of foreign companies like Petronas and Game24 Online have also come for support. The best time came when Indian Oil came with a proposal and discussed to do this program exclusively for girls. And in one go, they gave 2 and then added 3. So they supported us with 5 projects. And with 87% rate of success of girls admission in IT and IT, which was a good success in the first year.
Yeah. Mr. Sai, I would just like to ask the next question. If you could just tell me for the layman, if you could just explain me about what is Super 30?
Super 30 is a program to help underprivileged students who are bright and talented but cannot afford to pay fee to private coaching institute for admission in IT and IT, etc. Here we provide 1 year of free residential coaching. The stage free, the food is free, the academic coaching, testing, everything is free. It's met by the sponsors' money. And after 1 year, the students appeared the IT and IT, they joined, they take admission. A lot of companies like GAIL will provide scholarship to the students for their engineering period. IGL also pays some money. So it's a support being given to underprivileged bright students who have the merit but not the means to push their talent. So it's a program of justice, I would say.
Okay. So if I could just briefly ask you, how many years now you have been running this program? And
the first was in 2009-10. It's now 10 years.
Okay. And how many students currently are being benefited from this?
See, till last year, 3,500 students were enrolled, out of which 3,300 went in various IT and IT, etc. With almost 800 going in IT, 1,900 going in IT, and 500-600 in reputed engineering colleges. Okay. So that is the number. The number could have touched to 3,400, 3,500 also. But we have centers in Arunachal Pradesh and Kashmir where with great difficulty, sometimes the students are weak, these centers are closed for various reasons. So there the success rate is lower than the other centers.
Okay. So now I now open the floor, and we will have our next speaker, Mr. Prabhat Singh, who is CEO and MD of Petronet LNG. So, sir, my question will be, Kashmir, such a difficult place, operationally, logistically. Still, you supported this program. So, what was the idea behind this? Why did you support at such a difficult location for executing?
Thank you, Mr. Amay. And I'm very happy to be a part of this very, very august discussion which is happening. And this question which you have raised is very, very relevant in the sense because as Petronet, we truly have, I would say, a national presence in terms of the gas, whatever we are doing. And then, like today, we nearly serve around 40% of the country's gas from our own terminals. So effectively, I'm saying that from my side, we wanted to do something at the national level. And this national level project, when we are kind of looking at the whole scenario, what's going to happen is that on the borders, we felt that there is some activity going on which is causing a skirmish, which is causing a kind of discontent in the normal social milieu. So the idea was that can we partner with the Indian Army? And CSRL gave us this particular very nice opportunity to be in a position to be a part of this national program. And what has happened is that we have been able to kind of give an option to the youth of the valley to come into the mainstream and into the mainstream in a very respectable manner. And what has happened is that this program, we are now doing it for this is the 4th year, which is running with the CSRL and the Indian Army. And this year, we are facing much of a problem because of the COVID thing also, and the program, the exam being postponed, etc. There is an issue going on. But in the 3 years, we've been picking up 50 plus students, and we've done 5 girls we have been picking up who have been put into the Noida center because we were unable to put them in the Indian Army camps. But finally, out of the 155 or so people, we have ultimately, I think 137, 138 have been able to give the exams. And out of this, nearly 21 have qualified for the main IITs. And I think around
Okay.
56, 57 have qualified for the NITs, etc. And then balance have actually been able to do it in the other regional colleges, etc. So 100% result has been there all along. And we are very happy with the performance of CSRL, the way they have dedicated their professors, teachers, etc. We have visited the camps in the army camps where on the tattoo ground where these people are kept. And it is very heartening to see the kind of involvement of the instructors, the teachers, the people who organize, and the way the students have come. So, in a way, we have offered them a very different way of life. And the 1 year which they remain with us throughout 24 by 7, you can see the perceptible change in their thinking also. And then ultimately, the icing on the cake is a lot of people, a lot of boys say that they want to come back and be mentors here. So they say that while they are
Okay.
going into the mainstream, they would actually like to, some people say that I would like to mentor 2 students out of this. For the whole year, we would be able to give their fee, etc. once we actually join jobs, etc. But some people have said that we'll come back and we will teach them effectively. So, like was mentioned, know that it is a complete paradigm shift in their own status as far as the social milieu is concerned. And you are virtually 150 families have been brought into the mainstream with goodwill and good gestures and good feelings for the country as a whole. And in a very small, humble manner, perhaps PLL is also contributing to the unity of the country, to the peace of the country, which is so much required at this point of time.
Sir, there's an add-on question on this. If you see the role of this particular project, how it has helped the Kashmiri youths to be integrated into the national mainstream, and what kind of feedback you have got from the actual beneficiaries?
No, like I said, I think the first part is that the people have a lot of ideas, lot of apprehensions, lot of misconceptions. When they come into the camp, now these people are there for nearly 11 months or so. So the way they are seeing what is happening, and especially these girls who come to Noida, they see a very different world. They see how kind of harmonious relationship people are and how they actually collaborate with each other. So what happens is when they come into the mainstream, they realize that what they have been missing till now. And once they come here also, they realize the importance of collaborative study, supporting each other. Like when you come into a system like this, it is not only the teachers who are actually teaching them. It is their own peers when they sit over dinner tables, when they sit over breakfast. They have discussions, and then those discussions not only get restricted to mathematics, physics, chemistry, etc. They come down to the brass tacks of the issue, actually trying to say that this is how we are now looking at life beyond this, and this is what we were, and therefore those kind of issues come up where people say that, look, I am not only going to leave it at this. When I get hold of a degree and I get a job, it is, I feel responsible now that the way CSRL, Army and Petronet in Kashmir have actually worked, and they have brought me into the mainstream. Somewhere I feel responsible that I must also contribute to this national cause. And that is the time when they say that they'll sponsor some students here, when they say that I want to come back and do this. And in general, when you meet the parents also at times, because we had an opportunity, the kind of satisfaction the parents have, the kind of, I would say, indebtedness when they look at the advantages their kids are actually going through. In a way, kind of, you are not only one individual, but a complete family of 4 or 5, suddenly turning into your collaborative, I would say, partners who now look at the world in a very, very a manner which is much more peaceful, conducive, and there is positivity which is coming out. There are positive actions which are coming out, and to a satisfied mind, to a positive mind, all good then prevails, and if you have happy people around, it is like happiness begets happiness, basically.
Thank you very much. I think you articulated it very well, you know. So now I shift to the next speaker. Now I'll invite Mr. Sushil Chandra Mishra ji, who is CMD of Oil India. And, you know, they have sponsored around 5 centers in Northeast, one in Jodhpur for G stations, and they also sponsored had for NEET preparations since 2010. So, sir, my question will be, you know, supporting this very noble project. What has been the socio-economic impact last 10 years?
If you see, let me give a little bit of background.
Yeah.
We started it from 2010-11. And the first center was opened at your Guwahati. And then after that, we expanded to 6 centers. And when I was posted in Rajasthan, I was very closely associated with CSRL at Jodhpur. Now we have got unit in Arunachal Pradesh also,
Yeah.
4 in Assam, and 1 in Jodhpur. In Jodhpur, I was really closely associated when I was posted there. I used to visit every month to that center, and I have seen the dedication of the people there. There are a lot of people who cannot afford the good coaching, and in today's competitive scenario, coaching has become a part of the education. It is like 10+2 or something. Coaching is also integral part. And with this initiative of CSRL, and with the help of the public sector like Oil India and other companies, these people who are talented but deprived because of not able to afford this coaching and all, they are being helped altogether. And during my stay, I also requested them to induct few girls also in Jodhpur unit. Because in Rajasthan, you know, they don't allow girls to come out for education. They go for very early marriage. So, in fact, they selected about 10 girls and nobody was allowed to come because of their parents. Then we persuaded and we finally could get only 3 girls in that. And all the 3 girls were placed nicely. So CSRL has really done very well in that aspect, whether it is Rajasthan, Assam, Arunachal. And out of about 1,200 people enrolled so far, about 900 have been placed, and out of which about 250 in IITs. Now they are very well settled in various public sector companies and many other companies. So for return, social return, actually we conducted one survey by an independent specialized organization. They have come out with all the data, all analysis. They did it for 5 years, 2013-14 to 18-19. And they have really recommended this is a very, very good project for Oil India. And we must go ahead with such project. The SROI index was found to be 6.5. That is a very, very high index. And oil must continue. That is the message from that. Thank you.
So it has really created social impact where you are working. So are you also planning it in some other locations where you have your presence, basically?
Yeah, we have got some plans. Basically, even if we are planning to operate in some of the areas like Nagaland and other places, we have already discussed with Mr. Shahi, and we will be going ahead with 1 or 2 more centers in the states.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now I shift to the next speaker. We have Mrs. Alka Mittal. She's Director HR at ONGC. So ONGC has also sponsored a center in Shivasagar, Arunachal Pradesh. And just last year, they have also had a presence in Kashmir also with regards to, I think, NEET preparation. So again, my question to Alkaji would be, as I posed it to my earlier speaker also, I think Prabhatji was also posed this question of, why did you choose again Kashmir in spite of no commercial operations there?
Good evening to all, and thank you, Amayji. You have asked just the right question. Actually, we began, though we don't have a presence in Kashmir, but we knew the importance of providing some support, some socio-economic development opportunities to those who are there in Kashmir. And the beginning of it happened in 2014, much before this center came up. I got a call from an army person, a major in the army, and he just called up from an unknown number. And being in CSR, we were picking up all the calls, which were coming our way. So I was that time head CSR. So he called up, and his voice was very faint. But he said that I have been trying to contact your chief CSR's phone number, the landline number, not getting. So I just thought I'll bother you on your mobile. So I said, it's fine, but what is the way I can help you? So he said that we are present here. We are facing lots of issues in this part. They were in Baramulla. And he said, we would like to undertake some CSR projects in partnership with ONGC. So I was surprised. I thought that how will we work it out? How will we do it? So he said, no, we have an NGO which is present here. So if you feel comfortable, we'll connect you with them. So that is the way the story of ONGC's presence in terms of ONGC CSR's presence in Kashmir began. So we undertook some projects for skill development of the local youth over there in partnership with the army, in the army campus at Baramulla. And that is when we saw that the kind of aspirations that those young people have are no different from the aspirations which our own children have. I still remember that was the time, 2015, my own younger daughter was preparing for her medical. And she was the one, like, she was getting the best of coaching, best of opportunities at home. But still, she was working day and night, and we knew how much pressure she is under. And I was always wondering, that why should we not be doing this, something like this for the other girls who cannot afford it? And that is when Mr. Sahi is an old friend. I think we have been, since the turn of the century, I have known him. In fact, a little before that, maybe. And I remember every time we would meet, I would very freely share my concerns, my aspirations, as far as what we can do for those around us and maybe outside the company as well. So I just shared with him कि हम लोगों को ना, we would like to go ahead and do some coaching for medical as well. He said, हाँ हमने अभी किया है, and all credit to Prabhat Singh sir. He had already done some work in Kashmir. So immediately Sahi ji bole कि हम Kashmir में we can help you, and you can definitely undertake NEET preparation also for the girls. And we tried. We had plans to enroll 30 girls. We could, because we were wanting to do it in Kashmir, we could enroll 12 girls and rest were boys. And we were hoping that we'll do it in the army campus. But somehow it did not work out like that. I thought, ab to ye project nahi hoga, because we are not getting support we are not getting space in the army campus. So how will it happen? Because I was worried about the security of the youngsters as well. So Mr. Sahi said, nahi, kyun nahi hoga? Jarur hoga. And he worked it out. They hired, leased an accommodation. The students were there. Last year, I was again worried when the Article 370 lifting issue came up. I said, अब हमारे बच्चे कैसे पढ़ेंगे? So I called up one day and I asked Mr. Sahi, I said, बच्चों की पढ़ाई कैसी हो रही है? He said, ज़्यादा हो रही है, because they are not allowed to step out. So they are at the in the campus, and they are getting total attention of their coaches. And
but tell me, Alka ji, this eggs me to really ask you one more question. Like, how difficult it was to convince your management or your bosses, despite having no commercial presence? How difficult it was?
The best part was when this Super 30 project came, I had become director HR then.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and I just said that this is one project I would like to go ahead with. So there were no questions asked. Everyone.
But kudos to you. You have a very nice heart. It was a very nice gesture on your part. There's one more question I would like to ask you. Are you also looking at implementing this project in other parts of India? Like, even if you have a presence or not, are you planning for your future plans?
Yes, we have good presence in Tripura. So Tripura, we are actually looking at Tripura and Jharkhand. We had already planned, but just because of the COVID-19, we have been discussing with Mr. Sahi that we may take it up maybe next year. Otherwise, Tripura was to be on the cards besides Shivsagar. Shivsagar is in Assam. So we have been there in Assam for the Super 30 initiative, has been there since 2014. And about 129 students there have got enrolled into different engineering colleges there. But Tripura, I think we'll have to wait till next year. But we are all waiting and eagerly waiting to launch it there. And Bokaro in Jharkhand.
That's really great. Thank you, Alka ji. Now I shift to the next speaker. We have Mr. R.K. Mohapatra, who is Director HR at Indian Oil Corporation. And I would also welcome his other colleagues who have also joined today. We have Mr. Shrikant Bhatt. He is Executive Director HR Pipeline Division. Then we have Mr. L.L. Kongsai. He is DGM CSR CEO. And then we also have Mr. Bhanu Prakash Sewalji. He is Senior Manager CSR. And also Mr. R.N. Dubey. He is the Deputy GM CS at the corporate office. So Mr. Mohapatra, you also sponsored around 5 girls only centers at different locations in India in the year 2018. So My question was that, IITs, they just have reservation for say 10% girl candidates. And even recently, I think government took a decision of, reserving 20% seats for girls. So I think you have done, selected a very focused approach. So what was the idea of, supporting this project?
Thank you. First of all, thank you, Amayajit. Thank you for organizing this particular discussion. And first of all, to start with, congratulations to Sahi ji and Meenakshi ji for this case study coming out in HBR, and it's a real great achievement. And this effort really deserved that much of appreciation. So congratulations to them. Of course, Pravas Singh ji is the creator and who has shown us all the way, and that's why when he was speaking, you could see a lot of passion in his expressions when he was talking about it. So thank you, sir. Thank you for leading the entire action by all the companies, oil companies. Let me tell you one. I asked you the question reversely. Why not only girls? That was the question which came to us. That when we were trying to start this course and this program, Sahi ji was also in touch with us. We were discussing about it. Then the first question which came into my mind: we just have only 9.3% of girls in IITs, and it's again chicken story. What do? We have more feed, or we have more numbers at the outlay. As an outcome. So we felt very strongly that we must support only girls program. So we called it Indian Oil Vidushi program, and thankfully, yes, Sahi ji also, and Sahi ji's entire team was of a lot of help, because this also came with a lot of responsibility. Only girls, so you'll have to take care of, as Alka ji was also telling about, we'll have to take care of their safety, we'll have to take care of their needs, we have to take care of everything in full respect. And we just can't fail at any point of time. And I think Sahi ji and his team definitely supported us. And we had this first two centers which we started, Noida and Bhubaneswar center we started. We had 56 girls, and I'm so proud. 46 of them cleared mains, and 17 of them cleared advanced. And we had 9 in IITs. And I think I was writing it down, 9 in IITs, 23 in NITs, and 14 in other places. So it was, it was almost felt that the efforts which we had started did bore fruit. At least we have made our little contribution, towards making all the premier institutes having more girls in their fold. So that was the intention. And second part of it, if I also tell, I have been interacting with the girls a lot. I have been visiting all the centers. I think Sahi ji was there, Meenakshi ji was there when we, and along with my wife, we visited the Noida center. There was a girl from Kupwara district. I think Sahi ji will remember. When my wife was meeting with all the girls, she started crying. So she asked her, what happened, beta? Why are you crying? She told, I never expected that I will get this. We were not even able to get our regular studies in Kupwara. We know how affected it is. And this is where we feel very proud about it. I think, our decision, of course, like Alka ji told, I was also director HR when we took this decision, so it was easier, but still getting it through our CSR committee, getting it through the borders, a cakewalk, because everybody understood the importance of having a girls' only.
That's really good. My next question will again focus on IOC's commitment to this particular program. If you say it in medium term or long term,
No, we are absolutely. I think I know I don't lose any words in speaking that we are completely committed to it. We will be going forward. From 2, we went to 5. Although we started 4, we could not start our Chennai program at one point of time. We were planning to start it this year. We are now having 120 students. What we feel very much interested that being in Indian Oil, which connects to all parts. I mean, we always also claim on saying that pehle Indian and then oil. I mean, it has to connect all parts of India. So of course, our friends are, I mean, from other oil companies are also doing that. But as Indian Oil, we would like to go have it in all our parts right now. We have in North, we have in Noida and Jaipur. We have in East, we have Bhubaneswar and Patna. We have in South, which we have already approved, but we could not start it. I think Sahiji is also very keen. We should have started this year, but because of the pandemic, that is at Chennai. We would definitely like to have at West and as well as in Northeast, and all areas we would like to cover. So, and we would definitely like to make an impression with the premier institutes that these girls also do mean a lot to them. I mean, that's what is our intention. And I mean, I'm also happy to tell all of you, like, not only we are holding them during this period, we have also taken an approval. We are supporting them during their education as well. All those girls who have joined, we are giving them a scholarship of 5,000 rupees every month for their studies till they pass out. So we just don't leave it. I mean, we just don't leave it. We say, once you are connected with us, you are connected with us. So that is what we are going ahead with.
That's certainly great. You know, after this
I'm
interview.
sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I would like to add a line here.
Yeah.
Since we have all the delegates of all these sponsoring companies, there is just one thing that differentiates the CSR project, not just program, the project from all different CSR project is the involvement of all the dignitaries of the higher level also. So deeply they are involved. So it's not just a CSR donation, but the kind of involvement they have shown, whether it is sir had come along with his wife. So not many directors, not many MDs do reach out to beneficiaries at level and sit with them and have a cup of coffee with them. That makes a difference. The emotional connect that they have formed with the students, and that goes to all of them. Prabhat sir had come for their cake cutting ceremony. Dubey sir had often visited us for evening snacks. Bhanu Pratap sir has always visited. Bhande sir had been visiting. So they have been visiting, and that shows that they have not just done a CSR project, but like sir said, they have been involved, and I'm sure that it would take a long way. From the beneficiaries' face, they felt like a family in CSRL Super 30 rather than a coaching institute because of all the love, not just the money that they have received from all the sponsors. I wanted to add this because this means a lot, and that is one reason this project has been taken up as a case study. Because I'm sure there are thousands of work they're already doing which is covered under CSR, but this brings a dynamic change in the lives of the beneficiaries. Thank you, and thank you. I had to say this on this platform. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you very much. Let me confess that, this has been a very intriguing and very thought-provoking, comments made by all the speakers. It has really touched the hearts. And I think your CSR efforts have, given a real flip, reach the right beneficiaries. It has helped the people who really, aspire to come forward, because there are so many people in India who aspire to do so many things, but they never get an opportunity. So I think this project is an excellent opportunity for people who can't afford quality education. And I thank all the speakers, and I really appreciate the kind of efforts you have put in to support this project. And also thanks to Mr. Skish Sahiji, who is the founder of this project at CSRM. And before I, end the interview, I would like to have one last comment from all the speakers. I think I'll start. I'll give 30 seconds to all the speakers. I think I'll start with Mr. Mohapatra.
No. Yes, I think I agree with what Meenakshi ji also told. It has been an emotional connect with this program. So that's what is taking it far. And I have always been asked this question, whether we should increase the number, we should increase the quality. I would have to have both, combination of the quality and number as well, so that we make an impression where it has to be made. And we take care of those people who are coming from from the lower strata and handhold them to that extent that we really associate with them fully. So yes, it will continue.
Thank you. I'll get the floor open for Mr. Prabhat Singh now. Your one.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I've been raring to add this last comment. Let me.
Okay. Okay.
Because what I'm trying to say is that what Meenakshi said and what all the speakers have said, we are all really very passionate about it. The passion can be felt that the opportunity to even the students who have actually made it. You will be surprised to know that not many of us, even in our lifetime, are able to go and meet the Prime Minister's office, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, shake hands with them, click a photograph with them. Then you are not privy to going and actually having a cup of coffee or tea, being mentored for half an hour or 1 hour by the secretary to the president, Mr. Sanjay Kothari, and you are able to actually see yourselves around him. Then to be able to be, I would say, जैसे होता है ना आशीर्वाद मिलना of Mr. Bipin Rawat, the army chief, with all his team, etc. So much of fanfare also going around with this. It is palpably being felt actually that this project, wherever it goes, it ignites a kind of compassion. And when you really see it on a holistic manner, it is like everybody wants to say that, look, this is something great happening. Why can't I be also a part of this? So ऐसा होता है कि चुंबक है, magnet की तरह ये अपने को खींच रहा है.
Thank you.
Perhaps खुलती चली जा रही. So that's it.
Thank you very much. Now I give the opportunity, or I'll request Mr. Prabhat Singh, who just spoke, and now I'll open the floor to Mr. Sushil Chandra Mishra ji, who is CMD at Oil India. Sir, the floor is yours. One last comment.
Yeah. As just now Meenakshi told, this is really, we are proud of this project. It is not a normal CSR project. It is something different. As she told, each and every one is involved personally. And I have seen personally that the students who get good placement, they also come back and they feel a part of the family. That is the biggest strength, I feel. And I wish all the best to this group, and we'll definitely keep on being a partner with this. Thank you.
Now I'll request Alka Mittal ji to say the last comment. Alka ji, you have to unmute it. Yeah.
The best part about this initiative and the technique, which is the learning technique which is adopted over there, is that, like Prabhat Singh sir also touched on it, it's a collaborative environment in which they are there. So till now, all the while we were feeling that children are preparing for competitions, they have to be competitive. Here they are collaborative, and they gain strength from each other. And they gain strength from all these interactions they are able to have with those who come and interact with them. Besides the resource persons who are there, the best of faculty is there. The best part which I saw about the Assam Center, the Shivsagar Center, was some of our colleagues over there who are there posted in Assam, in the Assam set. They said that, can we have our children getting coached from these resource persons? Because they are so good, they are experts in that area, and they are providing this, I would say, this education to those who would otherwise not have been able to afford it. And this is the beauty of it. The education is reaching the doorstep of those who otherwise cannot reach the educational institutions or coaching institutions. And this is it. This is the key to it, and this is the best part about it. And all credit to CSRL for this.
Definitely. Thank you, ma'am. And one last final comment from Mr. Shahi. The floor is yours, ma'am.
Before Mr. Shahi comes in, I would like to come in. Meenakshi.
Okay.
I just want to say this would not have been possible had the same passion not been shown from Mr. Shahi or Meenakshi.
Yes.
I think this was also very palpable. It gets very emotional at point of time. Sometimes when we discuss, I know how Shahi ji reacts, and so that's what makes it important. Owning it up fully that has been the prime, hallmark of this entire project. But we have still many more miles to go and many more things to do. I think this same thing will continue for future as well. All the best to Sai ji and Meenakshi ji.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, I would like to make a small comment. First of all, I am thankful to all the funding agencies who have come forward to support us. There's also, to make this passionate, the leadership is surely there of Sai sir, but along with it, we have a dedicated team of more than 200 plus employees who also dedicatedly 24/7 give their soul and energy to ensure that this project is running. We sitting at Delhi can surely give them a direction, but taking the onus of 100 or 30 students 24/7, 11 months all throughout, it calls for a lot of dedication, and that I would like the credit that the team should also get the credit of this whole exercise.
Yes.
That was from my side. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Sahina.
Yeah, last thing that I would like to say. One, that this program has taught us to fight obstacles. Imagine in Kashmir when Burhaniwala was killed, the entire valley was in fire. There was a strike, there was stone pelting and whatnot. Even then we delivered result there. People were against the army. This year we have 370 removal as well as COVID, with both we have been fighting in Kashmir. So this COVID is applicable to all the centers. But many special problems came in Kashmir in last 5 years, and which we all have fought it. At times I have to remain at the airport and me and Chris Murthy for 12 hours. We could not go out even out of the airport. We have to stay in army camp. So we have now developed resilience to fight obstacles. Now we are not afraid of it. That is one thing.
That's great. That's great. You know, वो कहते हैं ना कि blessing in disguise. You know, हमको ये मानना चाहिए कि अगर कोविड नहीं होता तो हो सकता है हम आज इस तरीके से मिलते भी नहीं. सब लोग मानेंगे इस बात को.
बिल्कुल.
So I think there are a lot of positives also always coming in our life. You know, it has created a new opportunities, avenues to reach out to so many. You know, it has been a very thought-provoking discussion. I was really touched by this, and finally, I would thank all the speakers. They put it very articulately, all the points, and I also understand that they have a very clear vision of how this project could be taken to the next level. So thank you very much, and I hope everybody has liked it, and I wish we could have one more time of interaction or have many opportunities like this. So I close the discussion. This is Amay Sathe from sarkaritel.com closing this interview. Thank you very much.